Hello, welcome back to Simple English Daily, the podcast that helps beginners like you build real English skills by just listening to natural, everyday conversations. I'm Sophie, your host, and I am so happy you're here with me today.
And I'm Ben. Hey everyone. Whether this is your very first episode or you've been with us for a while, welcome. We are really glad you tuned in today.
So today's episode is all about one of the most useful topics you'll ever learn in English: how to talk about your day. This is something you do every single day in your own language, right? You tell people what happened, how you felt, what you did, what went well, what didn't go well.
Exactly. And in English, talking about your day is one of the first real conversations you'll have with native speakers, whether it's with a coworker, a classmate, a neighbor, or a friend. It sounds simple, but there are so many useful phrases and expressions packed into these kinds of conversations.
That's so true. And the good news is, this is beginner-friendly. We're going to speak slowly and clearly, we'll explain vocabulary after each conversation, and we'll give you lots of examples you can actually use in your own life.
We have 5 conversations for you today. Each one is a different part of the day: morning, midday, afternoon, evening, and then a full recap conversation at the end of the day. So by the end of this episode, you'll know how to describe your whole day in English.
I love the structure of today's episode. Okay, no more waiting. Let's get into it. Our first conversation is set in the morning. Ben and I are playing 2 coworkers who run into each other at the office just after arriving. Let's go. Conversation 1. Morning at the office. Morning, Laura. You're in early today.
Hey, David. Yeah, I wanted to beat the traffic. If I leave the house before 7:30, the roads are so much quieter.
That's smart. I always seem to hit traffic no matter what time I leave. It's so frustrating.
Oh, that's the worst. Did you have a rough morning?
Not too bad, actually. I woke up a little late, my alarm didn't go off properly, but I managed to catch the earlier bus by running, so it worked out.
Oh no, running for the bus is the worst feeling. Your heart is pounding the whole time.
Exactly. I made it, though, barely. What about you? Did you have breakfast this morning?
I did actually. I made scrambled eggs and toast. I've been trying to eat a proper breakfast lately because I noticed I was getting really tired by 11 o'clock when I skipped it.
That makes so much sense. I usually just have coffee and nothing else, and then I'm starving by 10.
Yeah, that's not sustainable. Maybe try having something small, even just a banana or some yogurt. It makes a difference.
You know what? You're right. I'll try that tomorrow. Okay, I should get started on my emails before the 9 o'clock meeting. Catch you later.
Good luck. See you at the meeting. Great little morning conversation. So natural, right? Let's go over some key vocabulary.
The first phrase, you're in early today. This means someone arrived earlier than usual. In here means in the office or in the building. It's a very common thing to say at work.
I said I wanted to beat the traffic. To beat the traffic means to travel before traffic gets heavy, to avoid it. You can also say beat the rush. People say this a lot in the morning.
Another great one, it worked out. This means everything ended up fine, even though there was a problem at first. It worked out in the end is something you'll hear constantly in English.
And I said that's not sustainable. Sustainable means something you can keep doing for a long time without problems. If something is not sustainable, it means it will cause problems eventually. People use this word a lot in everyday conversation now.
Excellent. Okay, moving on. Conversation 2. It's lunchtime. Let's see what's happening.
Conversation 2. Lunchtime. Hey, are you heading out for lunch or eating at your desk today?
I was going to eat at my desk, honestly. I've got a lot on my plate today. Pun intended.
Ha! Come on, you should take a break. Even 20 minutes away from the screen helps. I'm going to the sandwich place around the corner. Come with me.
Okay, you've convinced me. Let me just send this one email. Give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I'm timing you.
A moment later. Done. Let's go. What are you thinking of getting?
I am between the chicken wrap and the soup and bread combo. The weather's a bit chilly today, so the soup is calling my name.
Oh, soup sounds good, actually. What kind do they have?
They usually have tomato, lentil, and something seasonal. Last week it was butternut squash. It was amazing.
Sold. I'll get the soup too. Oh, and there's sparkling water. I've been trying to drink more water lately.
Good habit. I always forget to drink water during work. By 4 o'clock, I've had like one glass.
Same. I actually set reminders on my phone now. Every hour, it reminds me to drink water. It sounds silly, but it actually works.
That doesn't sound silly at all. That sounds genius. I'm stealing that idea.
Feel free. Okay, here we are. What do you want to order first? Such a classic lunchtime conversation. Let's look at the vocabulary.
I love the phrase David used. I've got a lot on my plate. This is a really common English idiom. Your plate represents your workload or responsibilities. So a lot on my plate means you have a lot to do. You're very busy. And he made a joke about it because they were talking about food. Pun intended means he knew it was a funny double meaning.
You've convinced me. This means you persuaded me. I'll do it. It's a friendly way to agree to something after pretending to hesitate.
I said, the soup is calling my name. This is a fun expression. When something is calling your name, it means you really want it. It feels like it's almost speaking to you. That chocolate cake is calling my name.
And at the end, you said, I'm stealing that idea. This just means I'm going to use that idea for myself. It's very casual and friendly. It's a compliment, actually. It means the idea is so good, you want to copy it.
Perfect. Okay, conversation 4. It's mid-afternoon, around 3 o'clock. The energy is getting a little low. Let's see what happens.
Conversation 3, the afternoon slump. Laura, I am really struggling right now. I cannot focus.
The 3 o'clock wall. I know it well.
Is that what this is? I feel like I could fall asleep at my desk. I can barely keep my eyes open.
Welcome to the afternoon slump. It's actually a real biological thing. Your body naturally feels tired in the early to mid-afternoon.
Really? So it's not just me being lazy?
Not at all. Your body temperature drops slightly in the afternoon, which makes you feel sleepy. It's totally normal. What helps me is getting up and moving around for a few minutes.
I did try to take a short walk earlier, but I got pulled into a call, and now I'm paying for it.
Yeah, sitting still for too long makes it so much worse. Can you get up now? Even just go refill your water bottle?
Yeah, good idea. You know what else I need? Coffee. Do you want one?
Oh, I shouldn't. If I have coffee after 2, I can't sleep at night. But thank you.
That's so true. I have the same problem, but somehow I always end up having it anyway, and then wondering why I'm wide awake at midnight.
We never learn. Okay, go get your coffee, take a little walk, and you'll feel much better. The last 2 hours will fly by.
Promise?
No promises, but probably. I love that conversation because it's so relatable. Let's go over the vocabulary.
The 3 o'clock wall. This is a common informal expression for the tiredness you feel in the mid-afternoon. You can also call it the afternoon slump, which we use too. Both are widely understood.
I said, I know it well. This is a simple but elegant phrase meaning I'm very familiar with that. You can use it in lots of situations. I know that feeling well. I know that cafe well, etc.
I got pulled into a call. To be pulled into something means to be unexpectedly included in it, usually without much choice. I got pulled into a meeting is something you'll hear in office environments all the time.
And the last 2 hours will fly by. When time flies by, it passes very quickly. Time flies when you're having fun is a famous English saying. You can also say the day flew by, meaning the day passed very fast.
Great stuff. Okay, conversation 4. It's the end of the workday, time to go home. Conversation 4. End of the workday.
Okay, I am officially done. Shutting the laptop. Bye, work.
Me too. What a day. Are you heading straight home?
I think so. I was going to stop by the grocery store on the way. I have nothing in the fridge, like literally nothing.
Oh no, that's a dangerous situation. What are you planning to make for dinner?
I was thinking pasta, something simple. I don't have the energy to cook anything complicated tonight.
Pasta is always a good idea. What kind?
Probably just tomato and garlic, maybe throw some vegetables in. It takes like 20 minutes and I don't have to think too hard.
That actually sounds delicious. I've been eating out too much this week. My wallet is suffering.
I know that feeling. Cooking at home is so much cheaper, and honestly, most of the time it tastes just as good or better.
You're right. Maybe I'll actually cook tonight too. I have some chicken in the freezer I keep ignoring.
Don't ignore the chicken, David. Use the chicken.
Okay, I will. All right, have a good evening, Laura. You survived another day.
We both did. Get home safe. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Take care. Lovely end of day conversation. Let's look at the useful phrases.
I am officially done. The word officially here adds emphasis. It means completely, totally, finally done. It's a very casual and expressive way to say you finished something. You'll hear it a lot in informal speech.
I have nothing in the fridge, like literally nothing. The word literally is used a lot in modern conversational English for emphasis. Strictly speaking, literally nothing means exactly nothing, but people often use it just to stress how extreme something is.
I said throw some vegetables in. To throw something in when cooking means to add it casually without too much planning. I just threw in some onions and it tasted great. It's very relaxed, informal language.
And my wallet is suffering. This is a fun, personified expression. Your wallet doesn't literally suffer, of course. It means you're spending too much money and your finances are feeling the pain.
And finally, you survived another day. This is a lighthearted, funny phrase people say at the end of a long or hard day. It's not serious. It just means, good job, you made it through.
I love that one. Okay, our final conversation for today is the best one. It's the end of the evening. Two friends or housemates catching up over dinner and talking about how the whole day went.
Finally sitting down. Today felt so long.
I know what you mean. What happened? Was it a tough day?
Not tough exactly, just busy. Back-to-back things from the moment I got in. I didn't even have time to breathe until lunchtime.
But lunchtime was good, right? You went out?
Yes, that was the highlight, honestly. I got that butternut squash soup I told you about. It was so good. That was probably the best part of my day.
The soup was the highlight. That's either sign it was a really great soup or a really average day.
Both, I think. The soup was incredible, and the day was fine. Nothing went wrong, but nothing exciting happened either. You know those days.
Yeah, the just okay days. They're not bad, but they're not memorable either.
Exactly. What about you? How was your day?
Actually, mine ended up being better than I expected. I had that presentation this afternoon, the one I was nervous about, and it went really well.
Oh, the quarterly presentation. I forgot about that. You were so stressed about it yesterday.
I know, but I practiced a lot and I knew the material well, and once I got going, I actually felt confident. The manager even said it was one of the clearest presentations they'd seen this quarter.
That's amazing. You should be really proud of yourself.
Thanks. I felt really good after. Like all that stress was worth it because I was prepared.
That's such a good lesson. The preparation really does make a difference.
It really does. Okay, are you ready to eat? That pasta smells incredible.
Oh, I forgot I had it on the stove. 2 seconds.
Ha! The chef needs to check on dinner.
Don't judge me. Okay, it's ready. Come and eat.
Perfect timing. Here's to surviving another day.
Here's to that.
What a lovely end-of-day conversation. Let's look at some final vocabulary from that one.
I said, I didn't even have time to breathe. This is a very expressive idiom. It means you were so busy you had absolutely no free time, no breaks. Time to breathe represents rest or a pause. You'll hear this a lot when people describe hectic days.
And that was the highlight. A highlight is the best part of something, a day, an event, a trip. The highlight of my trip was seeing the ocean. It's a great word to add to your vocabulary.
I said, you know those days? This is a really natural way to check if someone understands what you mean by appealing to shared experience. It's very conversational and warm. You can use it all the time.
Once I got going means once you started, once you got into your rhythm. Getting going means beginning something and building momentum. It was hard to start, but once I got going, it was easy.
And the beautiful little toast at the end. Here's to surviving another day. Here's to is used when raising a glass or making a toast. Here's to good health. Here's to new beginnings. It's warm, celebratory, and very English.
And that is a wrap on today's episode of Simple English Daily. We went through an entire day together, from the morning commute all the way to dinner at home.
5 conversations, tons of vocabulary, and hopefully a lot of natural English input for your brain to absorb. Remember, the more you listen, the more natural it starts to feel. Your brain is working even when you don't realize it.
And here's a little tip before we go. Try to use just one phrase from today in a real conversation, even just one. Maybe, I've got a lot on my plate, or the day flew by, or That was the highlight of my day. Small steps every day. That's how language grows.
I love that. Don't pressure yourself to use everything at once. Pick one phrase, try it, and enjoy the small win. That feeling of using a new English phrase naturally for the first time, there's nothing like it.
So true. And if you want extra practice, listen to this episode again or choose just one conversation and replay it 2 or 3 times. Each time you listen, you'll notice something new. That's the magic of language learning through listening.
Next week on Simple English Daily, we'll be talking about how to describe your feelings and emotions in English, a topic that so many learners find difficult but so rewarding once you get the hang of it.
You won't want to miss it. Until then, keep listening, keep practicing, and be kind to yourself. You are doing so much better than you think.
Thank you so much for being here today. We'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now. You've got this.